Okay, so sometimes when you open an After Effects file, you'll see that you are missing some files, and you'll get this notice. So what we do for this is, here we can see that the beginning one, speaking convos audio file, is missing because it's got this rainbow box here. So you can right click on here, go to reveal layer source in project. The project is in this area. Click on that, and here you have beginning one, speaking convos, again with the rainbow box. So we want to show where this file is. So we're going to right click on this, the missing file, go to replace footage, file, and then we're going to find where that file is. So for me, it's right here. I click on this, import, and now I have the audio file. This happens a lot with photos. You know, when I made this template, I was on the C drive, but maybe you're on the D drive or something like that. So you'll have to right click and do the same thing with the photos. But anyway, so for the audio, what we're going to do is click this arrow here. Now we have audio, click audio, and here's waveform. Okay, so here is all of the beginning one recordings for the conversations. And let's see, this is the beginning of the file actually right here. Okay, so to check it, bring the cursor to the timeline, the beginning of the timeline, and then hit spacebar, and we'll listen.
Beginning one, speaking, spelling, and numbers.
Okay, so the very first part, this part here, is the title of the recording. And of course, we don't need this. So to take this out, what we do is we go to this bar here and go to the beginning. And when we get this little cursor tool tip, we click on it and we can bring this back. And now we don't have that audio. So if we hit the space bar again, nothing plays. It'll start from here.
Please have a seat.
And this is the first conversation. So it looks like for this one, talking about countries and languages convo 1, this is wrong. So what I want to do is, you can look at the waveform and see that this is one full conversation, and then there's a little silence, and then here's another title or for the next recording, and a little silence, and then here's the recording. So what we can do is, just to find the conversation or the area, we can click outside of here and then hit spacebar.
Beginning one, speaking, talking about countries and languages.
Okay, so that said beginning one, speaking, talking about countries and languages. And this is going to be, this area is going to be conversation 1. And then here, probably will say
conversation 2.
Conversation 2, right? This title here. And then this is the conversation 2. And then this will probably be the next lesson, and then conversation 2, like that. So we want from this area to this area. So what we're going to do is go to the end of this audio bar here and drag it over. Drag it over a little more. Okay. And then we're going to click on the bar here, anywhere, hold it, and then we're going to move the whole audio thing. Now, you can just kind of simply do it like this and then let go. That's fine. Or you can also click and then hit Shift. And Shift will, if you hold Shift down when you click on it and you bring it to here, it'll kind of snap into place like that. So that's a little trick you can use. Okay, so let's double check it. So now we have moved the audio.
Hiroshima is a beautiful place.
Right.
Do you live here?
And there, that's the correct conversation, right? Now this little work area, this is called the work area here. You can move this. So right now the work area ends at 35 seconds. Sometimes that's okay. Sometimes you want 40 seconds. Sometimes you want a minute, whatever. So you just move this out and that changes the work area. For this, we could do right about here. Give us a little space. And this way you don't have to worry about this. When we render out this video or render out these graphics, the render will stop here in the work area. Okay, so now what we want to do is align the text here to come on or animate on just before the recording starts of that sentence, of that line. So what we're going to do is zoom in a little bit, and really for this you don't need to do anything. You can just move this around and you can see that it comes on there. These are well, you can click on one of these elements here and then you hit the U button. This, you really don't need this for this project, but you might need it for another project. Click on U, and U will show you all of the keyframes of that element. And the keyframes, if you already understand this, I'm sorry, but the keyframes are basically the animations of that element, the different places where you want that element to move or how you want it to move. In this situation, it's scale, so the keyframes changes the scale from so from this keyframe it's, let's see, it's 58, and then you can see it goes down and then goes back up, and that's how it's animated in. But you really don't need this, but if you want to use these as to know where it animates in, you can just hit U. So hit U and it'll come on. Some of these will come on. Okay, so what we want to do is align these. So this recording here is Hiroshima.
Hiroshima is a beautiful.
Yeah, Hiroshima is a beautiful place, and then this element here is Hiroshima is a beautiful place. So just about 1 second before animated on is good. So it'll be there, and then it'll say Hiroshima is a beautiful. Yeah, so that's kind of perfect, about there. Okay, so this is the next line here, right? This is No, I live in Kyoto. So this is the speaker's line here. So what we're going to do is bring this over. We're going to left click on the bar, bring it over, and that is a little wrong. It's missing the keyframes, I think. Let me check that. It should have keyframes just like this. And it doesn't. Hold on, let me fix that. Okay, let's add those keyframes to here. Scale. Paste. Okay, so now we have the keyframes. Okay. So let's go back. All right, so here, this is the beginning of the recording. This is the beginning of the text animating on. So we're going to click on the bar here and move it over to the left so that it animates on before the recording. And then we got to do the same thing for this text right here. So this is the next sentence. We can check that by hitting the space bar.
Oh, really?
Okay, so oh, really? And this is the text for that, so we're just going to move it over a little like this, and it comes on good. Let's see. I need a little more space here, so I'm going to click on down here. This brings me along the timeline. Okay. Oh, really? Where are you from? Okay, and then this was going to say I'm from Mexico, right here. So I'm going to move this just to before that.
I'm from Mexico.
Okay, this is going to be IC. This is the next recording, so we're going to move this text line over here, and then probably here is going to be next. Okay, I speak Spanish, So we're going to bring that over to there. And let's see.
You speak English.
Yep, here we go. You speak English too. So we're going to move that over here.
Well,
okay, so that's the beginning of the next line. So we're going to bring this one over here. And I used the timeline, the cursor timeline. So for example, so this is the beginning of the new line. I have to scroll down to be able to move this, right? And you can just use your mouse wheel to scroll down, or you could use over here to scroll down. So I've got this cursor, this line, so I know that's where it starts. So I'm going to move this just before that line. Go back up.
Really?
Okay, so this is the beginning of the next one. Scroll down, bring this over. There we go.
I think you're very...
Okay, good.
Thank you for...
Okay, this is the next one. Thank you for saying so. Okay, bring that over.
Thank you for saying so.
Okay, and for this one, this is the end, right? This is the last sentence of the conversation. So we don't need... Hold on, did I mess that up? I think I did.
Really?
Oh yeah, I did mess that up a little. Where did I mess up? I think this one is really, and then this one's going to be thank you. So we'll go there like that. We don't need this one.
Well, I speak English a little. I'm not very good.
Okay, so that's okay. So we can scroll along to see that everything looks good. And basically that's it. I would say, let me see. Yeah, this looks pretty good here, all lined up. It's not a big deal, but if you do see any spelling mistakes or grammar mistakes, like here, this should probably be a capital Y. If you see that, go ahead and change it, but don't worry too much. I can change that pretty easy later on. So, but if you see it, you can go ahead and try to change it. So we'll just go in here, speaker 1, go here, double click on the element. Generally when you're changing something, at least for me, it's easier to click over here in the comp window than it is to click over here. And you can see, like here I'm using the selection tool, but if you click on a text element, it automatically will change it into the text tool if you double click on that. I like to start from here, so I'll double click here and then I'll come over here and just do a capital U. You speak English too, and maybe a period, and then that's good. That's it. To move along here, you have all these open comps. You know, you can use the mouse wheel. So mouse wheel up and it'll bring it back down. Mouse wheel down and it'll bring it across like that. But yeah, that's it. That's how to do the audio. So let's see, you already titled it correctly, so I just go ahead and save here, and there you go. To save time, if you want, when you do the next one, what you can do is simply use this file again, but change the name, and then you know that the next conversation is right here, so you don't have to search for it. You can just save new file, change this to conversation 2, and then just move this over here, over like this. So now you have the second conversation starting. Click on it, move it over, and boom, you're ready to go. Really easy. Okay?